Welcome back to the channel, Coin Lovers. Today, we're diving into the fascinating world of Australian coinage, specifically the humble 10-cent piece. Now, at first glance, the 10-cent coin might seem ordinary, but within its history lie some hidden gems that have caught the attention of collectors worldwide. In this video, we'll uncover the top 2 Australian 10-cent coins that stand out above the rest, coins that are not only rare but also valuable if you're lucky enough to find them in your change. Let's get started. First up, the 1967 Australian 10-cent coin, a piece of decimal currency that has been part of everyday life for decades. The coin we're exploring is in circulated condition, meaning it carries the marks of its long journey through people's pockets, wallets, and tills across Australia. The 10-cent coin was first introduced in 1966, when Australia made the major change to decimal currency, replacing the old pounds, shillings, and pence system. The 1967 issue came just 1 year after this transition, making it one of the earliest coins in the decimal series. For collectors, that makes it especially interesting because it represents the beginning of a new chapter in Australian coin. On the obverse side of the coin, we find the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Arnold Machin. This design shows the Queen facing right, wearing the Girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara. Around her portrait is the inscription Elizabeth II Australia 1967, identifying the monarch and the issuing nation. The reverse side features one of the most elegant designs in Australian decimal currency. Created by Stuart Devlin, it shows a superb image of a lyrebird, a native Australian bird famous for its beautiful tail feathers and its incredible ability to mimic sounds. The denomination 10 is placed prominently next to the bird, making the coin easy to recognize. The coin was struck in copper nickel, giving it a silvery appearance. It weighs 5.65 grams and measures 23.6 millimeters in diameter. This durable composition and medium size made the 10-cent coin suitable for long-term use, which is why so many 1967 examples are still found today in circulated form. In circulated condition, a 1967 10-cent coin often shows plenty of character. The once bright surfaces are usually worn down, with scratches, small nicks, or dull grey patches replacing the original shine. The Queen's portrait might appear softer around the edges, and the fine details of the lyrebird's feathers may not be as sharp as they once were. Despite the wear, circulated coins still have a unique charm. Every scratch and mark is a reminder of the coin's decades of use, whether in everyday shopping, handed out as change, or stored away in a drawer for years. For collectors, these circulated pieces represent history in the palm of your hand. The color of a circulated 1967 10-cent coin is typically a muted gray or silver tone, often with darker patches of tarnish or even a slight brownish tint in some areas. Unlike uncirculated coins, which shine brightly, circulated examples carry a softer, aged look that reflects their long time in use. When it comes to value, the 1967 10-cent coin is very common. Millions were minted that year, and in circulated condition, most are worth only their face value or slightly more, perhaps 20 to 50 cents to collectors. However, higher-grade coins, uncirculated examples, or those with minting errors can be worth significantly more. So, the 1967 Australian 10-cent coin in circulated condition may not be rare or highly valuable, but it is a wonderful piece of history. It connects us to the early years of Australia's decimal currency, showcases the artistry of Stuart Devlin, and reminds us of the everyday role coins once played. Next time you come across one of these pieces, take a moment to appreciate its story. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more coin stories from around the world. Next up, the 1976 Australian 10-cent coin, a small but fascinating piece of currency. The coin we're looking at is in circulated condition, meaning it carries the natural marks of decades of use, giving it a unique character and charm. The 10-cent coin was first introduced in 1966, when Australia officially switched to decimal currency. The 1976 issue came a full decade later, during a time when decimal coins had firmly established themselves in everyday life. This coin represents that period of modernization, where Australia embraced a consistent, practical coinage system. On the obverse side, the coin features the familiar portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Arnold Machin. This portrait, used on Australian coins from 1966 until 1984, shows the Queen facing right and wearing the Girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara. Surrounding the portrait is the inscription Elizabeth II Australia 1976, identifying both the monarch and the issuing country. Turning to the reverse side, we find one of the most elegant coin designs in Australian decimal currency. Designed by Stuart Devlin, the reverse showcases the lyrebird, a remarkable Australian bird known for its long, curved tail feathers and incredible ability to mimic natural and man-made sounds. The large numeral 10 sits to the left of the bird, clearly denoting the denomination. The 1976 10-cent coin was struck in copper-nickel, a durable alloy that gives the coin its silvery color. It weighs 5.65 grams, has a diameter of 23.6 millimeters, and features a reeded edge. This practical design allowed it to circulate effectively for many years without losing too much of its detail. In circulated condition, a 1976 10-cent coin shows all the hallmarks of age and use. The once bright silvery finish is often dulled, with small scratches, nicks, and patches of tarnish across the surface. The Queen's portrait may appear smooth around the edges, and the fine details of the lyrebird's feathers may have lost some of their sharpness. Despite the wear, circulated examples remain full of character. Each coin tells a story. It may have passed through countless hands, been used for small purchases, or carried as everyday change for decades. These signs of use don't take away from the beauty of the design. Instead, they add history and personality to the piece. The color of a circulated 1976 10-cent coin is often a soft gray, sometimes with darker spots of toning or a faint brownish tint from years of exposure. Unlike freshly minted coins, which shine brightly, circulated coins develop a mellow, aged look that makes them distinct and collectible in their own right. As for value, the 1976 10-cent coin is very common, with millions minted that year. In circulated condition, most are worth only their face value, or perhaps a small premium to collectors, usually between 20 and 50 cents. However, coins in uncirculated or proof condition, or those with minting errors, can fetch higher prices. So, the 1976 Australian 10-cent coin in circulated condition may not be rare or especially valuable, but it holds real historical and cultural significance. It reflects the artistry of Stuart Devlin, the enduring image of Queen Elizabeth II, and the everyday life of Australians in the 1970s. Next time you come across one of these coins, take a moment to appreciate its story. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more fascinating coin journeys.